What's up, America? It's your girl bringing you some news you can use. We are live at the #1 internet radio station, IntellectualRadio.com. IntellectualRadio.com. We got some great nuggets, some great topics. I have an amazing guest, and I'm super excited that she's going to be my guest co-host today. We're going to be sharing information, giving introspection, and providing some inspiration. So what we're going to talk about today, first of all, I want to talk about a glow getter. That's GLO-GETTER. That's a driven male or female who strives to achieve their goals in life while attaining a beautiful glow both on the inside and outside. Today is Let's Talk Business Tuesday. We're going to talk about knowing your worth as an entrepreneur, as a philanthropist, as getting your hustle on, whatever you want to call it. We're going to talk about knowing your worth. We're going to talk about loving yourself, right? Loving on you. And ain't nothing wrong with that. And then week before last, we talked about the morning routine. So I just want a tad bit, just go back and revamp that, just drop a couple of nuggets. And then last but not least, we're going to talk about how to avoid business burnout. You know, a lot of times you're ripping and running, you're doing this and that, and you say, oh, I don't even know how I'm doing this. And your body say, well, we getting ready to shut it down. Because when your body get tired, it shuts it down. You don't have no control over that. So my goal today is to inform, educate, entertain, and inspire. Today's show is sponsored, and we will have a commercial next week. Today's show is sponsored by no other than Krispy Kreme. Their mission is to make the most awesome donuts on the planet every single day. And I think they've done that. They are addictive. Hopefully they have a location near you. They have one at 110 South Manhattan Road in Hillside. They have a location at 17815 South Hartford Street in Homewood, which is right by Ruby Soul Restaurant. You have to visit Ruby Soul Food. And we have one at 9150 Southwestern Avenue in Evergreen Park. And then Block 37, which is at 108 North State Street. So I want to drop this nugget before we get started, before I introduce my amazing co-host today. Even though there are days that we all wish we could change some things that happened in our past, that happened yesterday, that happened this morning, that happened last night, guess what? There is a reason that rearview mirror is so small, and your headed is much more important, and where you're headed is much more important than what you've left behind. So don't worry about things that you cannot control. We just have to pray about it and move forward and strive for excellence every single day, even though we are imperfect and we're living in an imperfect world. If today is your birthday, I have a quote just for you. I hope your special day brings you all that your heart desires. Here's wishing you a day full of pleasant surprises. Happy birthday from Making Waves with Miss Darci and crew. If you're celebrating a divorce or anniversary, right? I hope that moving forward, that your life is filled with surprises and joy and peace. Tons of smiles and laughter galore, right? So before we get started, we're going to come back and bring you our guests. Remember, the goal today is to make an income while making an impact. Remember, let me say that again. The goal is to make an income while making an impact, right? So we're going to be gone for like 30 seconds, like abracadabra, like I Dream of Jeannie, like Bewitched. Be right back with our guest co-host. So don't go anywhere. You tuned into Making Waves with Miss Darci on IntellectualRadio.com. If you have a comment, you can chime into the conversation box. If you want to call into the studio, we have the wheel today. Let me show y'all my wheel. I want to give away some prizes today. So every color has something on it. You can win cash, you can win a gift card, you can win a free commercial, you can win dollars. So depending on what color you land on, you have to tune in for the question of the day. And then we'll give you that number to call in, which is 708-223-8953. Again, that's 708-223-8953. IntellectualRadio.com. Back in a moment. Back to Making Waves with Miss Darci right here on IntellectualRadio.com, which is an iHeart radio station. Tune in, listen to all the amazing shows. We have amazing co-hosts. We just doing the darn thing. So if you have not intellectualradio.com, just go in and type in intellectualradio.com. We're streaming 24/7. We have a show or a topic I can guarantee you that will interest you, will feed your brain, will help you in life, in relationships, as an entrepreneur. Whatever you need, we have it. Just get your phone, your smart device, your tablet, your phone. Just go to intellectualradio.com and tell them that Darci D sent you, right? Or call up Super Producer. Just tell them that Darci D sent you. Now, without further ado, my lovely, amazing, beautiful spirit co-host is going to introduce herself to you all. Introduce yourself. Beverly. Beverly.
Hi.
Introduce yourself and tell us a little about who you are and what you do.
Beverly Brown. And I'm yes. Okay. Literacy education to seniors. I'm a former IT employee. I really enjoy what I do. I teach. I haven't been doing it COVID, but hopefully real soon. Um, let's see what else. I'm a single person, loving life, love myself, and knowing my worth and everything. But I'm really happy to be here today on Miss Darcy's show. A little nervous today, but it's okay.
Oh, don't be nervous. You're beautiful. Just go with the flow. You don't have to be nervous. You're fine. Everything is going to go smoothly. We're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about loving on yourself. A lot of people as individuals do not love themselves. Sometimes they're going through depression, they're going through things in their life, in their relationship, at work, but we can't help but love who we are. Our goal is to get better at being better every single day. What is how do you feel about when someone says first love yourself? Why should you love yourself first, Beverly? Well, here's some things on reasons why we as individuals should love ourselves. First of all, it's essential that we want to be happy.
Because you have to accept yourself as for who you are. You have to accept yourself and are.
Exactly. Exactly. And people have to love you for who you are. Um, we're all imperfect creatures, but we all deserve to be loved. We are all wonderful human beings. And there are so many other things that are going on in the world today that we have to love on ourselves. We have to have prayer. We have a whole life out here waiting for us to live amid COVID, right? And it's our responsibility as human beings to take self-love out of control and leave it behind and just focus on being the best person that we can be. Do you think loving on yourself is selfish, Beverly? Well, it's not selfish to love on yourself first. In fact, every flight that we put in our personal lives every single day, the decisions we make every day, we do it because we want to live. We want to live a peaceful and healthy life.
No, by no means. In order to love someone else, you have to love yourself. I mean, being relationship in any relationship.
Exactly. You need to love yourself first so that you can help anyone or anyone around you. You have to put yourself first, right? And then show people how to love you and how you want to be loved. Because if you don't know how to love yourself, how can you interact with another individual?
That's true.
And show them how you want to be loved, right? So when you love yourself, you live on another level. The vibe is different. Some people won't like that, but it's okay because it's who you are, right? So if people care about who you are and what you do, then they will strive to understand that this is who you are and you have to accept me for who I am and love me for who I am. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you?
This is true.
Hold on. We're going to take a break. You're tuned in to IntellectualRadio.com, which is an iHeart radio station. Back in a moment.
Uh-oh, girl. You done found you a man. And I guess he loving you like no one can. Uh-oh, girl. You done found you a man. And he loving you like no one can. Oh, girl, you done found you a man, and he's loving you like no one can. Help her, Lord. She done fell again. I hope this time she don't break her shin. Woo, I love her. Feels so good. You feel like you got religion. Hallelujah. I done found me a man. Hallelujah. When I sing. He'll sing now. Now he'll sing. Oh, Lord. She done found her man. That's what I wanted. I love you somebody like that. Didn't you? So high, be the air that angels breathe, erasing clouds with angels' wings, flying next to the stars that sing. How with God's created things. Living in the clouds, swimming with the stars, higher than a bird. You got me. Living in the clouds, swimming with the stars, higher than birds. So amazing when I look on your face. Infinity cannot be longer than your good old grace. Swimming deeper than the deepest sea. Flying while I'm swimming. Look what you've done to me. You got me living in the clouds, swimming with the stars, higher than a bird. You got me living in the clouds, swimming with the stars, higher than a bird. In the morning when I rise, I still feel weak. I gotta testify. Baptized in your sweet embrace, while watching the sunrise, rainbow on your face. I'm living in the clouds, swimming with the stars, higher than a bird. You got me living in the clouds, swimming with the stars, higher than a bird. Baby, you got me, baby, living in the clouds, swimming with the stars, higher than a bird. Still, you got me, baby, living in the clouds, swimming with the stars, higher, baby, higher, baby. I'm swimming with the stars, higher than a bird. You got me, baby, living in the clouds, swimming with the
Welcome back. You're tuned in to IntellectualRadio.com, which is an iHeartRadio station. And I think my guest had a little issue, so she is joining us live on the phone. Beverly, you want to tell us who you are and what you do, sweetie?
I am teach computer literacy education to seniors. My company's name, or should I say my name, is EET Technologies, which stands for Elderly Technologies. And I've been doing this for the past, since 2012, I've been doing this. And I love what I do. It's my passion. It's my purpose. And it's very needed.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Helping seniors get online is amazing. I showed my mom how to get online a couple of years ago. Now she know how to text, and she be texting away, whether it makes sense or not. She just feel like texting. And now she's trying to work on adding pictures and videos. So that's a whole nother class for her. But I love it because it keeps your brain and your mindset on things, on how to do things, and it just keeps it flowing. So we definitely want to work with helping our seniors be better equipped on social media or just on tech devices. So I think that is amazing. Thank you so much for joining me here at Intellectual Radio. And so we were talking about why individuals should love on themselves. And I was asking you, do you think that was selfish? A lot of time people think if you love on yourself, that's being selfish. But my point of view, if you don't love who you are, how can you show someone else how to love you and what you accept and what you don't? Do you or do you not agree?
I do agree. You have to love yourself first, because that ties in with the word, knowing your worth and everything else. That's the number one thing you have to do, is love yourself first. It took me a long time to realize that. And I mean, I'm older now, and I love myself. There's nothing, because if you don't love yourself, you're more apt to, getting hurt and taking abuse and just it's a lot of things. But we all get to that place. I tell people now that I didn't understand what wisdom was, but I know what it is now,
Mhm.
and it's a wonderful feeling to love yourself.
It is.
It
And
really,
a lot of people were raised that you don't love yourself, that makes you sedity or bougie or uppity. But and it's been applied heavily on individuals as they were growing up that they're not supposed to love themselves. But you have to love yourself in order to know how to have people treat you. You have to experience it. Love isn't always equal. It could be one-sided, but every individual deserve love. Every individual is beautiful. They're caring. So why on earth would anybody want less? So if you're not being loved, then that's you're living a life lesser than what God created us to live, right? And so we shouldn't be as that we think we all of this or we think we that. We have to love ourselves, because everything that we do, it starts with us. And we would you or would you not agree that when we love who we are, and it shows, right, it trickles down to our friends, our family, our business, our relatives. It also can flip the script. It can inspire someone else to feel to care more about themselves when they see that Beverly is loving on herself, or Darci D is loving on herself, or uh Pastor Fleming or Annette, get caught in the net. Annette is loving on yourself. So when you're loving on yourself, then people will say, "Oh, I never looked at it like that. I never thought of it like that." Would you would
yes,
you would you not agree?
I agree. And loving yourself is to actually accept yourself for who you are.
Right.
I mean, you just have to accept yourself for who you are, and just love on you all the time.
And it's
And it's
scary. It could be scary too, Beverly, to love on yourself, but it's okay because at least you're honest about who you are, who you're becoming, right? Sometimes people will turn around and say, "Oh, you inspired me." Or because of what I saw you do, it inspired my self-love, or inspired me to do something else, or it made me get excited, about life and loving on myself in a positive way, not necessarily in a negative way. We have so many things going on right now. We have COVID, deciding on whether to be tested. This decisions, we make 9 or 10 decisions when we first get up in the morning. What we gonna wear? What we gonna eat? Do we take a bath or a shower? How are we gonna wear our hair? If we're gonna put on makeup, men, if you're gonna wear a tie, if you're gonna wear a bow tie, if you're just gonna wear a collared shirt, if you're gonna wear a round neck shirt, if you're gonna wear long sleeve or short sleeve, if you're gonna wear slacks or you're gonna wear jeans, if you're gonna wear shoes or you're gonna wear gym shoes, are you gonna wear a jacket or not? I mean, we have so many decisions when we get in the car. Are we going to go here first? Are we going to go there first? Are we going to stop and get coffee? Are we going to go without coffee? Are we going to exercise this morning? We making all these decisions before we even leave the house. Like, what route we going to take? How are we going to dissect our schedule? So many things. And it just brings to mind, I want to say thank you for joining us, Get Caught in the Net. Annette has a show for mind, body, and soul every Wednesday at 11 a.m. right here on IntellectualRadio.com. Please check her out. Amazing show. It's talking about our self-worth, our mind, our body, and soul. And with everything that we're dealing with the pandemic, we have all of these trials going on, Beverly. We have all of these verdicts that's going to be handed down. People are being killed, and you just have to wonder, you want to be safe. When you leave your house, you pray. I mean, I pray to get where I'm going and pray to get back home, but we also have to pray for people around us, which we don't have to, it may not even involve us, but we could be in a crossfire because we went down this way on the street or that way on the street. Things could happen. But what I do want to say, and you can give me your opinion on this, by us being who we are and loving on ourselves, we can create real change. If we can build confidence, we could change the world just by who we are. If we're spreading that love and that wisdom and that knowledge and that motivation. What do you think about that?
Well, yes, you do. I know I have that sisterhood group,
Yes.
and that's what I'm I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bring sisters together, and we have to learn how to support one another. And that is just so hard. I want to say for African American women, I don't know why that's so hard for them to understand that each time we support each other, each one grows.
Exactly. Yeah. And it doesn't take anything away from us just by showing love to someone else. And I think it's the mindset. And I think we all, because at one point in time, I had to learn the same. I think we all have to learn it in different stages of our life. But to like a post, to share a post, to say you're doing a great job, to say happy birthday to someone that's your acquaintance or friend, on social media, we have all these acquaintances on, or somebody said they graduated or they lost someone, to say, I'm sorry, my prayers are for you. That takes all of less than a minute. Because guess what? At some point in time, we're going to need that same love reciprocated back to us.
Yes, we are. Yes,
and so we have to learn how to support each other. It doesn't have to be monetary.
Yes, it doesn't.
It doesn't have to be monetary.
Each other, and we all flourish. I mean, it's just as simple.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know why it's hard for African American women to do that.
Yeah, I think it's that way for all. I mean, I think because we're African American women, it hit close to home. But I think when I look, because I've been in the entrepreneurship business for over 20 plus years. And when I go to networking events, if I go to events about grant writing, about coaching, about leadership, it's always a handful. And it's not just one nationality. There's a handful that won't shake your hand, that won't give you their business card, that won't interact with you when you break out to breakout sessions. And what I had to learn, because I kept saying, it's because I'm an African American female or woman. But what I had to learn, Beverly, is that when a person treats you a different way because the color of your skin or because of your gender, right? It's not about you. And I had to learn that. Through one of my coaches, it has nothing to do with me or you. It's something that's going on with them. And so, like they said, misery love company. So it has nothing to do with us. And it took me a long time to understand that, because I'd be like, they don't even know me. Why are they acting like that? But it has nothing to do with us. And so we still have to be the best version of us, regardless. I have seen people that wouldn't speak till we go to a monthly meeting. They would never speak. And I would always speak with a smile. Hey, good morning. How you doing? Have a nice day. They would never say anything. And then after months, they would finally just start talking. I never asked why. We never know what an individual is, what is going on in that individual's house, mind, car. We don't know. All we know can focus on what's going on with us and what we see. So I said we should work at being better ourselves and let God take care of the rest, because we can't repair everything. We can't. It's just too many things. We just can't. So if there's something that we feel passionate about and maybe our friends or our acquaintances don't, we shouldn't look at it differently, right? If you want to go out and buy something and you work every day and you can afford it, then do it. Don't have to second guess because you're with somebody who can't. I wouldn't want to put it in their face. Maybe do it without them. If you want to go to a spa, maybe that person can't go to a spa, then I wouldn't bring that up. I would just do that on my own terms. If you see a way to compliment somebody, my goal is to try to compliment somebody while I'm in or out my day every day. Nice car, nice dress, especially women, nice shoes, nice haircut. Oh, girl, you wearing that makeup. Just something nice, right? That reignites life and love to individuals. And it means something way more than what you're doing to someone else, and we don't even know it.
Exactly.
Right.
It does. Yeah, because a compliment can just brighten someone's day.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah. Love is beautiful. And when we love on ourselves, then we can love on other people. But if we walk around with hatred and animosity and all of these different negative thoughts, it affects us. It affects us. And so we have to recreate that situation or that environment. And I had to learn that. And now, because people say to me, why you always happy? You always smiling. But you know what?
They say to me,
Right. But you know what? This is who I am. I got the gift of gab. I'm going to say, good morning. How you doing? What's going on? Whether I know you or not. Right. I may not never see you again, but I left my mark. That's how I look at life.
Yes, and I look at life as looking at life as high on life. I'm high on life. I really am.
Yeah. Now we're gonna talk about this other subject about knowing your worth, right? So knowing your worth, the definition says a beautiful moment when you know how much worth you bring to yourself, to others, to the world, and you want to never let anyone tell you that you're less than the value that you know you have or you bring to the table. Now, I see the quotes that say know your worth and then add tax. I love that. Now, sometimes say, Beverly, as an entrepreneur, you're teaching, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm teaching. Sometimes we say to ourselves, like, why are we here? We didn't ask to be born. We didn't ask to be here, but we chose the path because we made that decision, right?
Exactly.
Sometimes I question if I'm good enough to be in this room or that room, but now I don't. So when you brought up wisdom, you touched on what I was going to touch on, because with wisdom comes growth. Some people stay at a standstill where others grow. And so that's where maturity, discernment, knowledge, wisdom, all those things fall into place. Yeah. Some people grow at different times, right? But when you grow, then somebody say, oh, I can't afford you. Then that's not your customer. Now, you may be able to work out something with them, but if not, it's okay. You could say, I've had people say, well, I can't afford you as a grant writer. And I say, that's okay. Here's so-and-so number. Try these other two individuals. They may be able to help you. Right. And I don't think twice. Before, I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? We have to learn to be versatile in life, how to be flexible as business owners, as entrepreneurs, as teachers, as mothers, as wives, as women, as sisters. In the sisterhood, we have to really work because we carry a large load. And so we are influencers, even though we don't think we are. And so what we do trickles down to our nieces, our grandchildren, our godchildren, just little girls in general. So we have to practice self-awareness. We have to know who we are. We have to display that with dignity, with respect, so that people will know, oh, this is who she is.
Exactly. And you need to have that positive self-esteem all the time and recognize the differences that you make.
Yes.
And stuff. And you should see yourself as a peer and feeling as an equal.
Yes.
These are just some points I noted. You don't have to undercharge your services because you know your worth. You know that your services are going to be rendered to the people, and you know your value.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's pretty much it. Those are some little points that I pointed out.
But knowing your worth also takes practice. It's not something that happens overnight, Beverly. Knowing your worth takes practice. Sometimes it takes a lot of practice, right? Yes. And then sometimes we will never be done with knowing who we are because we're constantly growing. We're constantly learning. The patterns are changed, business change, life changes, right? So we have to kind of go with the flow, go with the curve, but we want to always be on what I want to say, the innovative technical side. We want to always be learning, reading, and, being abreast of what's going on in life, keeping track of what's going on, keeping track of our successes. Because when we have a success or we win or we complete a project, we should be proud of ourselves. We don't have to wait for someone else to come and pat us on the back. Of course, we want to be patted on the back, but we have to work on us. Working on me is a 24/7 project, right? So I always say that I'm working on getting better at being better because it's not something that happens overnight. And I don't think you ever get done. right? And then you can ask for help. You can ask for a mentor or someone who's more seasoned than you are, who've seen life or dealt with things. I've always been one of those, I call myself an old soul, because I've always been around people that were older, more knowledgeable, and I learned from them. You know, I learned from my 15-year-old granddaughter. You can learn from individuals. You can always learn. Yeah, you can always learn. So we should never be where we think we are too good to learn or be on the cutting edge where we can't learn or gain knowledge from someone else. Now, I just want to briefly touch on this because this is so important to me. And I've been doing this since my birthday in February. And it has changed my entire entrepreneurship mindset. And that is my morning routine. I'm better organized. I learn how to plan my day. I cut out distractions. I decide what's important and I prioritize what's important. I'm more productive, right? I get more things done. I'm up early. I make my bed every single day because I don't want to go back into that room and it looked like I done slept in it, which I did. But I don't leave my house without making my bed. I want things decent and in order. And for me, that's order, right? What I've learned in doing this, I've gotten more clients. I've made more revenue. My finances have changed. I paid off some debt. You know, I thought I wouldn't be through debt free until the end of the year. Now it's looking like it's going to be June or July. God is good. And I'm thankful that he is working on me to be a better Darci D that I could be. So I'm more focused. I'm getting things done. And even though I know how to do things, I was just telling Super Producer, even though I know how to do certain things, I'm at a point in my life where I'd rather hire someone to do it. You can only do so much and you can only wear so many hats. How do you feel about that? Say you're an entrepreneur, you have your own business, but you're going to be the person that answers the phone, the person that makes the deliveries, the person that does this, the person that does that, the person that you ain't got no time for yourself.
You definitely have to prioritize. That is number one. I have been doing some things for my father for the last 8 weeks. I'm not going to go into what it is.
Yeah, right.
I have a routine for myself each morning, and I'm sure you know what that routine is. I exercise all the time.
Yeah, and I see it. I can see it. You look amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. So I get up. That's very important to me. So that's a priority. And I exercise, I walk, I get those 10,000 steps in every single day. Now, there's some days that I don't, but I'll get close.
Okay.
But those are just priorities. And you have to, I have a day that I wash, okay? I wash clothes. I may just do one load. It may take me 3 days to do those 3 loads or whatever, but I prioritize. And that's the only way. I can't live in chaos. I just can't. That's just me.
I'm the same way.
And, I have to prioritize my day. And so now, since I haven't had, this is my first week where I don't have to spend time with my dad.
Okay.
So now I'm working on my book.
Congratulations. I'm working on that too. I got to do better with that.
Pardon?
I got to do better. I'm working on mine too, but I got to do better. I just keep pushing it from one room next. So I'm listening to you. You are motivating and inspiring me.
Yeah. So what I'm doing is now, since this is the first week that I haven't got to take my dad to the doctor, okay? I've had to take him to the doctor for 8 weeks.
Oh, wow.
5 days a week, Monday through Friday.
Okay.
In the afternoon. So that cuts off some of the things that I need to do for myself. But he's my dad, and I have to take care of him.
Yeah, exactly.
So I said every day, starting Monday, which was yesterday, I'm going to put in at least 3 to 4 hours on my book.
Wow. Impressive.
Devoting that time, 3 to 4 hours, because I get up early in the morning, and I take that time and I sit down at my computer where I'm at now, in my office, and I actually devote 3 to 4 hours to my book. If it's 1 page, 2 pages, actually I have some of it already typed up. I'm just retyping it. but I still have a long way to go.
That's okay. You start though. It doesn't matter when you finish. It's just you started. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to finish, but the point is that you started. I started mine and put it down twice. So you just listening to you, there's two things you have inspired me to do. One, you said you exercise and you do your walking every day. I hit and miss that. So I'm going to what I have to do is pull people in with me that I don't know. So I'm going to be starting a 30. I was supposed to start this month twice and didn't do it. But you just listening to you, the inspiration is flowing through the phone because you are inspiring me to do this 30-day hula hoop challenge and a 21-day workout for 30 minutes. So it's two different challenges. It's one is doing squats and one is doing hula hoop. And we have gifts and prizes that are waiting, and I just didn't do it. So it's a page on Facebook, and I will send it to you if you want to, join. Yeah. But I will send it, and it's just something that we can do as sisters, as women, for the womanhood or the womanhood. I just think when we practice doing something every day, what I've learned that the routine and the secret is to doubling my business in the last 60 days. Is that the fortune is in a follow-up and delegating and being dedicated, disciplined, and determined. Those 3 Ds have really helped me to double my income. I have more time to do other things. I'm more focused. I'm more relaxed. And it's like I'm in a good space, right? And so that's why I want to briefly go back to that morning routine. So I'm asking everybody that is listening, that is watching, please share this broadcast. What in your morning routine or your habits can you make small changes to your morning routine to add to big positive financial blessings through the day and the week, whether it means getting up an hour or two early or staying up an hour or two late, having a schedule, figuring out what you're going to do. I usually do my schedule on Sundays after breakfast for the whole week. My goal is also to post more knowledgeable relative content, and I've been doing that. So it's just different things, and I see the difference, and I am just amazed. I'm getting clients just without me even advertising. It's just what I'm doing every single day. And when I start delegating, that gives me more freedom and time to focus on me. So I have to work on exercising every day, and I have to work on going back to writing my book. So those are two things that you have inspired me. I have another lady who also, Sharon Harper, she texts me every morning and said, work on that book, get the writing. She texts me every day. So shout out to Sharon Harper. She texts me. I don't care what I sent her. She said, now, thank you. Now get back to writing that book. Thank you. Now get back. Every single day. I also want to do a shout out to LaToya Underwood. I've taken some of her workshops and some of her digital content, and it has helped me tremendously. I'm going to post about that and what it did for my business. I also want to give a shout out to Bianca at Caton Enterprises. She's another person I listen to every Wednesday. Her inspiration and what she's done when she first started, I've watched the growth of her and her business. And so having mentors and people that you can learn from, and go back to you, Beverly, at the beginning where you were talking about sisterhood and we not loving on each other, watching them and learning from them has been amazing. Has been absolutely amazing. I have bought products and services and never used them, but I had to change some things. You have to sit back. And I think as you get older and wiser and wisdom sinks in and building a relationship with God, everything changes. Everything changes. Everything changes. And so I was going to take a break, but I'm not. I'm going to dive right into how to avoid business burnout, which is what I was experiencing in September and October of last year. Burnout, business burnout. And what I had to do is I had a mentor and I also had a coach, and I've never had two at one time. But running a business is hard work because you're doing it on your own. And I'm a perfectionist, Beverly, because me and you met years ago. So this is not your first time on the show. I have to juggle projects, juggle clients, and it's so hard for me to tell a person no. And then I'm up all day and all night. And then I'm overwhelmed. It's like a roller coaster and I never get off. And so I had to really pray to God. And he kept telling me to be still. And I kept saying, no, that's not the answer. You're not listening to me. And I would tell people what I felt the spirit saying to me. And they was like, well, pay attention to what. And I was like, no, because they said, Darci, stop. You got the gift of gab. I need you to stop and listen. If the spirit is telling you to be still, be still. It's a reason. Just be still. Meditate more. So I signed up for Pilates. For my birthday, someone gave me a 30-day thing for Pilates in LaGrange. And everything after that changed for me. Everything out there changed. I was trying to post content. I was trying to build my likes and my numbers on social media. Then the spirit say, hire someone to do it. Why do you have to be the one to do it? It's like I wanted my hands on everything. My hands don't have to be on everything. There's somebody who can do what I need them to do better. And if I can't, then I get rid of them and get somebody else. That's life, right? I can make a website, but why not pay somebody to make me a website? Because that frees up my time. And I had to really learn what burnout is. So this is my definition of burnout. Burnout is a state of emotional, mental, and physical exhaustion caused by excessive, prolonged stress. It occurs when you feel overwhelmed and unable to meet constant demands. As the stress builds, you begin to lose the interest or motivation that led you to take on a certain role in the first place. Now, that's what burnout means. Now, the difference between just burnout and business burnout, business burnout means you become unproductive, unmotivated to do anything related to business. You love your clients, you love what you do for a living, but too much of one thing can be too much, right? And so you have to deal with the highs and lows of being an entrepreneur or being a business owner. You have to deal with stress, which can lead to emotional and physical and mental exhaustion, right? You rather just curl up with a blanket, a cooler or wine, or just say, take me away, Calgon. Like, really, right?
I
understand that, right?
Yeah, that happened to me last week. I had a little burnout because, like I said, I've been doing stuff for my dad and doing a lot of things for my dad and myself as well. And I had to pull over in my car last week because I was having chest pain.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I got to just breathe in, breathe out. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
So like I said, everything is pretty much back to normal now. I'm not ripping and running as much. So now I'm going to dedicate that time to work on that book.
There you go.
Finish do at least 3 to 4 hours.
I'm so excited for you. I cannot wait. I'm telling you, I'm like on the edge of my seat. So Beverly, here are five things that helped me through my business burnout, right? The first thing I had to do is set boundaries for myself and learn to say no, because you can't help everyone. There's only 24 hours in a day, right?
Exactly.
Opportunities are going to come and go. They're going to sound tempting, but self-care is more important, because if you don't have self-care, then them clients or them customers, you're not going to be able to give them your all because you're burnt out.
That's right.
Right. So we have to evaluate what we do, how we do it, and we have to delegate. Don't get me wrong. I love what I'm doing. I would never trade it for anything else because I literally love what I do. But because I have a business, don't mean my business has to be running 24/7.
Exactly.
You have to block out time. You have to figure out what works for you, because what works for me might not work for you. Right, Beverly?
That's true. And you have to balance it. You have to love what you do. Loving what you do is a big deal when it comes to a business. You, because you can go out and sell something or whatever, but if it's not your purpose or your passion, you're not going to give it your all.
That's right.
That's
That's right. And what I had to learn is make time for myself, for my family, right? I'd take a step back, slow down, take deep breaths, because otherwise I'm going to have a one-way ticket to burnout highway, right? I had to commit less, right? Give my brain a break. I couldn't even go to sleep at night because my brain was just wired, right? Like, I got to do this. I got to do this. And then I had to stop feeling guilty and just relax, take some deep breaths throughout the day, go for a walk up and down my steps, walk up and down my driveway. I had to just do that. Go get a massage, join Pilates. I want to make sure I have a balanced life, right? A healthy, balanced life. And then the other thing I had to do, I had to get more organized. So I redid my office. I redid my files, stuff I hadn't used in 2 or 3 years. I got rid of it. I purged it. I had to start fresh, right? Fresh ideas. I put some pictures on the wall, change the furniture around. It's almost like I was ready to conquer and go into, like, I'm telling everybody I'm in beast mode, right? I had to figure out what works for me. And so I wouldn't get in that rut again. And what I can say, it has been tremendous. Well, I say everyone that is listening, you have to figure out what works for you. What I did may not work for you, but find what works for you. Life is too precious. Stress is no joke. Stress will end up giving you an aneurysm or hurt you or kill you, or you'll go into depression. You don't want to be on medication for the rest of your life. So we have to reevaluate our goals, our priorities, right? We have to delegate. We got to improve solving skills. We have to figure out that just because you're a boss or you're an entrepreneur or you're a business owner, don't mean that you have to work 24/7. You have to shut down. You have to shift. You have to strategize so that you don't hit burnout mode, right? And then you can truly, really enjoy being a business owner. You can be more productive to your customers and clients. And then life is better. And it's okay.
Yeah, it is.
But everybody has to figure out, everything is figure outable, as I say. So you have to figure out, stop worrying, most of all, pray, find inspiration. You should be able to find motivation, inspiration from your circle. If not, then you need to find another circle.
Right.
Exactly. You have to find what works for you. What I'm telling you, I was at that stage. You were just saying you were at that. You had to pull over. We are already dealing with COVID and all this other stuff that's going on, with police, brutality, just so much. So we should make sure we have a happy space. Everyone is different, but you got to find your happy space, whether it's cooking, baking, reading a book, writing a book, inspiring somebody else, crocheting, sewing, painting, whatever that is. This is the perfect time to use our hands, our mind, our body, and our soul and make it happen right here. We have to start doing that. And so I just had to touch on that. I just want to say thank you for being my co-host today. Very inspiring, very inspiring. So Beverly, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to reach over here and spin this wheel. And so if you want to call in to 708-223-8953, you got 2 minutes. Tell me one thing we discussed today, and I'm going to spin this wheel, and someone will win. 708-223. No, 708 223 8953.
Okay.
And I want to thank you for being my co-host, and I look forward to you coming back again.
Okay.
You have a great day, Beverly. Thank you. So I want to say, Annette, get called Annette. Make sure you check her out tomorrow, 11 a.m. Get called Annette. She's talking about your mind, body, and soul. She said you have to love on yourself. Yes, Annette, you have to love on yourself. Hello, Sean Wilson, another virtual co-host. She says, never about you. And you are absolutely right. It's never about us. Jeremiah Fleming, hello to you. Hope all is well with you. Oh my God, here go my diva. Tia, she says, I have to be around like-minded people. That is so important because if you're around somebody who's negative all the time, it's going to eventually rub off on you. It's going to eventually rub off you. And she said that's what happened to her on her job. I'm praying for you, sweetie. I'm praying for you. And she also said, yes, I just said that I need someone to be a web page, build a web page. Help, do you know how someone? Yes, I will contact you. Absolutely. Absolutely. We have to do more, you people, we have to love on ourselves. We have to do more. It's so many things going on in this world, right? The government is not going to give us anything. We have to create it. We have to build networks. We have to develop that mindset that we are in this thing together. And we have to help our own and vice versa. It's a win-win for everybody. And I just thank all of you guys for coming in, sharing positive feedback. I love all of these virtual co-hosts. And so the number to call, you got 1 minute now, 708-223-8953. You can win cash. You can win a gift card. You can win a free commercial. You can win cash. So call the number. The phone is ringing. The phone is ringing. Oh. Hello, caller. State your name and where you're calling from.
It's Beverly Brown, and I'm calling from St. Louis.
What my cowbell? Woo! Okay. So now you are my co-host. So tell me one thing that we talked about today on the show that resonated with you.
The part about loving yourself.
Now tell me one thing we talked about loving yourself. What did we talk about?
We talked about loving yourself and accepting yourself for who you are. We talked about self-esteem, I think. No.
Yes, we did. We talked about something. Okay, so I'm going to spin the wheel, Beverly. Whatever color it lands on, that's what you win today. Woo! Oh. Let's see. $10. $10. It landed on purpose. So you got $10. So I will call you, get your number, and I will send it to you. Then I want you to take a picture and then show it on. I'll have you do it and we'll put it on social media. You are our first contestant on Spin to Win on Making Waves with Miss Darci on IntellectualRadio.com. You won $10. Congratulations.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day, sweetie.
You too. Bye-bye.
So we have a winner. She won $10. It landed on purple. Who will win next week? Thank you guys for tuning in. Please share the broadcast. Please be careful. I know they're giving the verdict sometime today or tomorrow. Watch your surroundings. Check on your loved ones. There are so many male figures that are very important to me that I care about. And I can't even imagine what they deal with every single day as a Black male or as a Black man, young or old. So please be careful. Watch when you get pulled over. If you could be on the phone with someone, don't argue with officers. If you do not feel safe, then tell them you will drive to the nearest police station, but don't cause a confrontation. Right now is crucial. And we really have to be careful. I prayed when I saw the little baby get shot and then a 7-year-old in the McDonald's drive-thru. And now this verdict is going to be handed down. They're boarding up things. They're calling in the National Guards. It's so critical that how we handle this verdict is crucial to our livelihood. So we don't know the outcome. We have to wait just like everybody else. But if you're going to boycott or picket or whatever, please be careful, please be safe, and watch your surroundings. Let people know where you are and what you're going to do. I'm going to be in the house. So I just want to say that I appreciate you guys being my co-host, my virtual co-host today. And Do a random act of kindness, whether it's buying someone a cup of coffee in front of you or behind you, opening the door for someone. Doesn't have to be monetary. Calling and check on your loved one. Just be careful, you know. And I just want to close by saying thank you. Build your own dreams, or someone else will hire you to build theirs. And that would be me. Thank you for tuning in, and have $1 million day. See you next time. Bye-bye.